So we'll just see how to create a table. So table is something which helps you have a set of things grouped um, at one particular place, and we'll see how to create a table in HTML. And in HTML, a table is recognized by a tag called as a table tag. Okay. So I make use of paint. Okay. So when we talk about table, it will be something like the structure. We guys we all are aware about the structure. So it will have the border. It will have a few columns. Then I'll just create a you know, dummy table structure so that we we actually learn more about how HTML recognizes uh, each and every part of the table. Okay, so okay, this looks fine. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns, but I'll just have 3 rows. 3 rows. First one. Okay, anyways, drag it left here. Okay, so now see, this is assumed to be a general table wherein you have 6 rows and sorry, 6 columns and 3 rows. See, out of which every table will have a header. Okay, header in which you will have something highlighted, or you will provide significance of the data available in the table. So we will consider this section as the header from column perspective. So for every column, we will have a header. The first row of the table is a header. So and then second and third row will be responsible for holding the appropriate data as per the significance of the header. Okay, then we will just talk about how table structure is summarized from HTML perspective. As I said, table, when you want to have a table, you will have a tag called table tag. Meanwhile, I'll just go to edit plus and I'll parallelly start coding. Okay, let me move this to the bottom. I'll keep this editor, you know, uh, I'll not maximize this. I'll not have it to the screen size so that I can also be I can also access Notepad and Paint at the same time. It will be easy for you. So now I have taken a new HTML file. So with using which I am going to create a table. So let me just have a header here saying that. Uh, okay. So we will have something like a timetable. Okay. Timetable, which we used to have in our um, during our school days. So I'll just create a table which will give me the timetable for the classes that we as the students were attending during our school days. So I'll name this as table.html. You can name the file with anything. It's just that I'm naming it as table.html so that next time I come back and look for the code related to table, it becomes easy for me to understand that this file is related to the table code. Okay, so I'll save it as table.html. It has been saved already. Then so now, as I said, if it is a table, HTML will recognize a table by using a tag called table tag. So also ensure that you close each and every tag, even if I have told you that most of the tags are not mandatory to be closed. But I assume the table has to be closed because it will have border, it will have rows and everything. Why? Now, step by step, I'll proceed forward because I want to, keep on show you the structure, how it behaves with the addition of each and every tag. Not only this, this doesn't mean that the table is created. Okay, I'll just confirm that to you guys. Hmm. So here it is. Okay, see here. I do have a column called, sorry, content called, what do we say, timetable. But as a matter of fact, I said that it will not create a table with the table tag alone. So just because I have added table tag doesn't mean that there is a table. Okay. Or yeah, I wanted to discuss another point with you guys, but then I will discuss that later on. Let me proceed with further what can be done and how everything has to be taken forward in order to create a table. Now, as I said, we will have a timetable created, so it will be something like this. So let me add some text here, so only for our understanding. um, we will have a table something like okay, I will assume this particular uh, uh, cell. See, a box refers to a cell in HTML. So this cell I will assume to be the header of the column, okay, which will, okay, what we will do, we will have a header for the columns as well as the rows. Okay, so out of which I am trying to have something like this. um, like what can we have here? We can have time, and then apart from that, what else we can have? One thing is we can have time. Okay, so I'll just make this bold and then forward slash. So time and the subjects. Okay, Mhm. Subject. Now, by adding this particular content, what I'm trying to say is we will have a table with a similar format. So where the first row, first row will talk about the subjects that are available. Okay. So here I'm or okay, not time and subjects. It should be time, then days. Okay, time and days. Now the first one, the days here, the content days refer to the days in a week and the time as per which the subjects have to be added into the table. Now we will consider this a row for timing like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Since we have five columns available, we will utilize that to align. I mean, add the timings in the first row. But whereas the first column, we will take just 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, and we will not take anything beyond that, because if I have to consider all the days, then I will have to expand this table. That we will do in HTML. But this is from Paint perspective. I just want to present a structure, dummy structure. So I'll have this as a Monday, and then this one as a Tuesday. And we will have for timings here, be 10 a.m. and we are gonna have 11 and 12. Um, so we have a number of a couple of days here with some slots available for the time. So I'll just keep on adding the subject. So I'll just add here. Now see this, these two things refer to the important section of the table, which provides us the significance about the rows and the table. So now if I talk about the first column, the days refer to the significance of the number of days, or the days which I'm trying to add into the table, whereas time here refers to the first row of the table where I have given some time. Okay, Now I'll just remove this bold and I'll just add the content like maths, then English, then Hindi. This will be lunch, then home. Okay. So same, like I'll add social things, Kannada, then again lunch, have lunch, and then you can go home at 2 o'clock. So, this is just a dummy data. So using which I'm going to create a table in the HTML file. So if I have to get the table like this, what I have to do, I have just created a tag called the table tag, which is currently not displaying anything. Now, let us focus on creating the first column, first column without any data, or we will just create a column with no borders available. So that's how it works actually. So see, I have to first create a what we will do, we will first focus on rows. Okay, so we have three rows. This is the first one. So this is the first one, and this is the second one, and this is the third one. So we will just create the rows first and then we can have a column. So now in order to create a row, I will use a tag called as tr tag. Okay. Now refresh this, nothing. But when I inspect this, I'll show you the table. See here, we have a table with, see, I did not add the body tag. Even, if you miss to add this, it will still work, but then again, it's not mandatory to have body tag in every table. Okay. So it has automatically added the body tag and there is a row created. Okay. Which has nothing currently, which has currently nothing. So which means that we have created the first row. The first row is available since we don't have the border. Okay, what I will do, I'll go to this one and I'll make use of some CSS style is equal to, I have to provide border. I'll first have to select the size of the border, then the format, solid, black. This is going to be the color. Okay, we do have the border available, but you can check out here why it is not considering it. Okay, I'll just check. Okay, 1 second. It should not be here. I think it should be here. Okay, see here we have a small border available. Okay, which I have given for table tag. So which means that we have a table with nothing. So when you use a table tag, this is how the table will be initial when you have nothing inside that. I have added a tr tag, but then again inside the tr tag, which is the first row of the column, first row of the table, we don't have anything else. Okay. So quickly what I'll do, I'll just add some content inside that. The content means the content means if I have to add the content, I have to convert that row, this particular row into column. Now, wish I could utilize the more space. Okay, what I'll do for now, now see, this is something what we have currently there. Okay, this is something what we have currently as per this code. But it's just that since we don't have anything added, it is like, appearing something like, very small, like this much. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to add the columns. When we start adding the columns now, okay, for now I'll just put lines and have some columns. Now when we add the columns now, we will have our first row with 1 2 3 4 5 columns. Okay, since we have 6, I'll just add some columns. Now the first column, as I said, as per this is nothing but a header. Okay, when you want to convert this particular row with the number of columns and then make it as a header, you will have to use a tag called as th th tag. Okay, so in which I have added time forward slash days. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Days forward slash time. Okay, then I'll just close this and I'll show you the structure now. We'll close this now. We don't need to see here. We have the first row and first column of the table. The first row and the first column of the table. Now, since you can also observe, I'll show you the difference between using the th tag, which represents the table header, and also how data is weaved. Okay, if a user is looking at a particular table, he should actually get to know by looking at the table only that which column is a header. Usually it will be the top row will be the header, which row is the header, and which other rows are treated as the data for that particular column. Okay, data columns. Now I'll add one more row which I have still made as the header, and the content what I have is 10 o'clock. Okay, so I'll just add like this, then close the tag. Now I'll refresh this. You see there is another row available now. Okay, one row and another column. Sorry, it is going to be a column. Now if you inspect this and if you see this is uh, column, first row, first column, first row, second column. You can actually see the difference, but since I have not given any border for this, it is not separating it. Okay, we will see how to give the border and everything at last. We don't have to worry about that as of now. Okay, now similarly I'll just add another three columns till lunch break. 11, 12, 1. Okay, 1 o'clock. This will be more than enough. First row is complete and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Okay, so this is how we have created a column. Now let us try to have a border available for this. We'll check if this works here. So it's not consistent for TR, but then again, you may have to give it something like this. So yeah, see now this particular column has its own border. Okay, so I will show you how to have one single border rather than having it configured for each and every column of the row. Okay, something like this. We will not do this as of now. I'll show you another simple way. Instead of you people adding the code something like this in each and every row, I have another way using a type of CSS. There are three different types of CSS, as I said: page level CSS, inline CSS, tag level CSS, and the other one is there is something called as CSS, which is actually applicable throughout the application. We do have the first row with a few columns. Then we will go back and create the second column. Second row with the same number of columns. Yet again, you have to create another tr tag, which should be always ensure that it is closed. Okay. Now I do have another row in the particular table. I'll go here and I'll just see it. Since I don't have any content, you are not able to see it. But by looking at this, what I have here, the second row, first column. So this is the second row and this is the first column. So we are actually considering the first column also to be an important column. using which where the content of that particular column is highlighted. So since I have used bold here, if you can see the difference between the highlighted column and the normal data column. So what I'll do, I'll have a similar mm, uh, similar structure as well. Yeah. I just have to use, whenever you need anything to be highlighted in any table, you just have to go for the th tag. Okay, so I don't want this, so it should be Monday. So just check this. Okay, days we have Monday. Now after this, um, on Monday at 10 o'clock, as per the timetable, it should be mathematics. And observe the difference here. The content is highlighted. It is in bold format, and this is just a normal text. I should get similar format here as well. So what I'll do, I'll just use another tag now which represent the data of the column. So it is the data of the column. Since it is a data, I'll be using a tag called as td. td represents the data of the column. Okay, see, this is bold, this is with the normal display format. Okay, so that's the difference between th tag and td tag. Okay, then I'll just copy paste as of now so that I can avoid wasting the time. See, when you have when you are treating the first row with some of the th tags as the columns of the table, you ensure that you add the same amount of tags in the second row as well, because so this is the first row and this is the second row with 5 columns. Then we will go for the third one. I'll just do it in a very simple way. What I'll just do is just copy some tr tag from where it is actually starting to the end of the tr tag. Just paste it here. Same, subjects will reply, but the day has to change. Should be Tuesday. Okay. So now we do have a table, but the table is not as per what we have created in the paint. So it just does not have the border. The border is there, but then again the border for the columns and the rows, that is not there. We will see how to provide that. So what I'll do, see, as I said yesterday, you will just have to use this property called as style property, style attribute with the border property with three things as the value for this. See, 2px. 2px stands for the size of the particular border. Okay, so you will get the size of the border. Then solid is the format. We will have other formats also, like dotted line. Okay, so we will see that. I will just use dotted here. This is dotted. Maybe we have another one. Line is not that. Okay, something else. Dotted. Okay, solid we have, dotted we have, and a few more are there. I'll just recollect it in CSS. All these are part of CSS, but then we'll stick with solid now. We have solid, and then the color black. You can actually give any color. So you give red, it has turned to red, and I'll also show you the size. It decides the size of the all these three things should be there. If you don't pass the color, what happens is it will take the default of the particular web page. So always default will be black, but then again, you just cannot provide the size. You will have nothing, because when you don't have the format at all, you don't have the format at all, the border will not be available. Okay. Now default size, we will check it. This takes default size. Yeah, you see here. It will take the default size and we will see what is the default size of this one. So border we have here solid. Okay, so it is actually 3px. Okay, you can see here 3. Okay, so it is 3px, 3px border by default it will take. So likewise, you just have to provide the format, and if you want to give your own sizes for the column, just pass it in this format. IPX solid, right? So this is the border for the table. Now let's quickly see how to provide the border for the columns and the rows as well. So what I have to do, see, this border will not be available for rows, because as I said, row is just like creation of a what do we say, like it will just give you a space. Okay, and then if you provide the border, it will not give the border for the rows that you are actually creating, because it will just make the space available and waits for the content to be added. Only then you can add the content using the other tags, like th tag or td tag. So these tags are responsible for the addition of the contents, and they actually are the ones which creates the column, which create the columns of the table. Okay, so now if I have to pass the border, it has to be for the th tags. Okay, now with the number of th tags and td tags also, the number of td tags and th tags that I have in the table, I cannot keep on just adding like this. If I can do that, but it is a time consuming activity. Instead of that, what I can do, see here, I'll just pass it something like this. Okay, see, wherever I provided border for that particular column, for that we will not call this as column, neither box. We will call this as cell. As I said, one row and one column represents a cell. Okay, so we have one, two, three, four cells with border, and other cells are also there. You can just see, if you can just try and mouse over on this. See, this is one cell, this is one cell with no border. Okay, we do have cells here. So the border has to be provided for the cells. But then again, if we compare the table what we have here with what we are trying to achieve, does not match it. Okay, so we will just see how to have this format with the help of HTML. Now what I'll do, I'll just show you the easiest way of having the border for all the cells of the column. Okay, let it be here. Arbitrary. I just have to use a tag outside the body, inside the body, wherever you want you can use a tag called as a style tag, inside which we will be writing some CSS code. Okay, so inside which what I will do, I'll take the property first. What is the property I am looking for? I'm looking for border property, colon, border colon. I should give the value for this. I want 2px solid. I'll keep it as a red, right. And now I have the property, and always the properties have to be enclosed with braces. Okay. So this is the standard format. Whatever CSS you are going to write, it should be enclosed with the curly braces. Okay. Inside which you will be writing the properties, CSS properties. Now this does not make any, this will not give any change to the table, unless unless now see here. Let's assume I want this border only for th tags. Now wherever th tags are there, I want that border to be available. Now, how do I actually consider providing for the th tag? By giving the tag name. So what is the tag name? Tag name or element name, whatever you want, you can call it. You can call this as tag name. Take the tag name without using braces, just pass the tag name on top of the curly brace. On top of the curly brace. Now, see here. Wherever th is there, at that particular cell, we have provided the border. So, as I said, you don't have to go to each and every row of each and every column of the table and provide the properties. We can actually do it by using the CSS, page level CSS. Then I also want it to be available for TD. So what I'll do, I'll not rewrite this code. Instead, if I'm going to use the same property, what I'll do, comma TD. Okay. Now all the cells of the table have its own border, but still it does not match with the structure what we have. Okay. Meanwhile, before I proceed further, I'm just left out with just one concept, like how to have a common border for all the cells of the table and the table, um, a general border for the call or cells of the table and the table also. All I have to do is I'll have to take help of additional CSS property called, there is something called a border collapse. Border collapse property. See, every valid property will turn into blue color on its own. Now, if I make any spelling mistakes, it will not be in blue color. Instead, it will be brown color. So, with respect to the editor, that's why I always said I yesterday recommended you guys using Edit Plus. You will get to know all these things, whether it's a valid property, if you're making any mistakes. Now I have given border collapse. Spelling wise, I am fine. But if I use underscore, this becomes invalid property. This will have no effect on the table. Okay. So this these type of editors will help you in identifying if you are correctly coding or not. Okay. So value for this will be, let's observe, as soon as I give yes E here, it will turn into red color. See, now it's valid. All I'll do is refresh. So border collapse. Have I done any mistake here? No mistake. 2px solid red. Okay. It should collapse with table. So I'll have to add table. So that's one of the mistake I did. See, this border collapse, what it does, it will actually try and know the border has to be collapsed with what? Since I missed a table tag here. See, table had its own border. Okay, let me remove this. Let me remove this. And also I'll remove this table which I added just now. Now if you take a look at this, see here. So the table does not have any border. Instead, the cells of the table have their own border. Now, I should first provide border to the table because table is the parent tag of all the other tags that are available inside the table. So what I will do, I will go here, I'll just write table. Now the border will be provided, same border with same size 2px solid red will be provided for, I'll disable this property. Yeah, see, same border has been provided for the table as well. Now I want a single border, something common across all the cells and the tables. So then again I have to use the CSS and I have to just write something like this. Border collapse. Now it will check for the borders that are available and it will collapse all the borders that are separated into one single border and make it common for all for the table. Okay, so see something like this. So now this is this is how table is created. But then again, there is no space. It is looking ugly, and then all these things have to be taken care by CSS. But I'll still show you how to do that. Border spacing. I will give some. Yes. You see, as soon as I use the property called padding, the space was given to there was a separation between the cells and the content of the table. Okay, so we will discuss what padding is, what this border collapse is, how border is provided, every format that is available here, and everything in CSS. Yet again, that this doesn't mean that I have used these properties. That doesn't mean that I'll not uh, recall this while discussing CSS. Now, padding, if I show you about padding, I'll just show you here. The other day I told you, right? See, this is something called as CSS box model, where you will have four features in the CSS box model. One refers to the border, the other one refers to the padding. Padding is nothing but the space between the content and the cell. Okay, between the content and the cell, or you can say content, the space between content and the border. Okay, and then you will have the content area where 40 is the width here and 18 is the height, 40 into 18. Okay, so then you will have padding, then this is the border, and that's all, like border, padding, and you will also have something called as margin, which you are currently not seeing it, but then again I'll use that. uh, or I'll say, okay, let me use that, when while discussing CSS. So yeah, this is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me with regards to creating just a table with three rows and five columns. So I'll show you again. Three rows, we have five columns. We have considered the first column as the header of the table. Also, the first row also we have treated as the header of the table. Then again, we have provided a red color border, and then we have different tags to differentiate between the header content as well as the data of the table. If you can look at the display format here, so this represents the header content and this represents the data of the table.